Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Harry Maguire has admitted he's sick of Manchester United's poor form. And Maguire also came out and said that Man United players are letting fans down. And Maguire has said that Rangnick is not all to blame for the poor performances. Maguire is Manchester United's captain. Maguire is enduring a very poor season. Recently suffered a knock. Earlier on this season he was out with a calf injury for a while, and towards the end of last season he had ligament damage in his ankle. Maguire has been at Manchester United for over 2 years. Manchester United paid £80 million for him. He certainly wasn't worth the £80 million we paid for him. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. Now, you know the news on Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo has held crisis talks with his agent Jorge Mendes about his future. It recently said that Cristiano Ronaldo is ready to quit Manchester United if the club's next manager isn't to his liking. Revert back to the other week, Cristiano Ronaldo came out and said that I'm not happy at Manchester United, but Ronaldo's agent Jorge Mendes said that Ronaldo's very happy at Manchester United. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last summer. Manchester United got him for 20 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United until 2023. There's an option of a further year, and Ronaldo receives around £480,000 a week, so he's the highest earner at Man United, and he wears the number 7 shirt. He is the best player in the world overall because he's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Since Ronaldo re-signed, he's scored 14 goals in all competitions and he's got over 800 goals in his career. Man United are relying on Ronaldo far too much. There's been a few games where he's saved us this season, you know. He saved us against Norwich last year because he scored the winning goal from the penalty. He saved us in the 2-2 draw against Atalanta because he netted twice in stoppage time at the end of both halves in that game, and he saved us against Villarreal at Old Trafford earlier on this season. Now, you know the news on Mauricio Pochettino. It's said that Mauricio Pochettino's move to Manchester United is almost done. Pochettino wants Manchester United and Manchester United want Pochettino. Pochettino will leave PSG by June at the latest. Revert back to earlier on this season, Pochettino came out a few times and said that I'm happy at PSG and he wouldn't let the Man United rumours distract him. Earlier on this season it said Man United were ready to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. Pochettino's got like a full season left on his PSG contract. I think he has won a French Cup with them. PSG have found the replacement for Pochettino. It said PSG have agreed terms with Zinedine Zidane. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Man United should have got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. He's a good manager, Pochettino, even though he's hardly won anything. And he's proven in the Premier League as well, which is beneficial, because before, Pochettino endured 5.5 years at Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure when he was at Tottenham, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. At one point, he almost won the league when he was Tottenham manager, and in 2018, he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final. I think Tottenham made a big mistake sacking Pochettino, because they were very consistent under him. And before Pochettino managed Southampton, he only endured a short tenure with them, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. And before, he managed Espanyol. Eric Ten Hag, a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him become the next permanent manager. Well, it recently said that Eric Ten Hag is leading the race to become Manchester United's next manager. You've got to admire what Ten Hag has done at Ajax. He's won a couple of trophies with them. He got them to the Champions League semi-finals back in 2019. And I like the way he develops young players. He's been Ajax manager since 2017. So he's been with them for around 5 years now. He's got a contract with them until 2023. Earlier on this season, Van der Sar, who's Ajax's CEO, he spoke about Man United's interest in Eric Ten Hag. Before Ajax, Ten Hag managed Utrecht. Before then, he managed Bayern Munich's reserves. And before then, he managed Go Ahead Eagles. In the summer, I can assure that Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. Ralph Rangnick, he's already losing the dressing room at Manchester United. It's already said that 17 Manchester United players are unhappy with Ralph Rangnick and want to leave. Rangnick's already under pressure at Manchester United. But despite that, Rangnick got told that transfer funds are available this month. So reflecting on that, Rangnick will be backed by the Glazers this month. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over a month now. Manchester United lost the last game to Wolves 1-0. That was Ralph Rangnick's first defeat as Manchester United manager, and it was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford since 1980. So Rangnick is our interim manager until the end of this season. It did mention that he'll get the consultancy role for a further 2 years, but now it's recently said that Rangnick getting the consultancy role is a doubt. I can't see him getting the Man United job on a permanent basis. But like I said, reflecting on the poor performances under Rangnick, I'd say Rangnick's blameless. You know, the players have to take responsibility, like Maguire's recently mentioned. The players are the biggest problem at Manchester United at the moment. Rangnick's made changes since he come in, because he brought 3 additions in. Earlier on this season, he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armisen as an assistant coach. And before that, he brought Saz Chalens in as a sports psychologist. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Rangnick's made it clear that he wants a centre defensive midfielder at Man United. Obviously, Declan Rice, he's been a long-term target for Manchester United. Says Man United are confident of landing Rice for 100 million in the summer. West Ham's disappointing December given Manchester United a huge boost in their chances of signing Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham, he's also been a long-term target for Man United. You know, Bellingham's at Dortmund, but when he was at Birmingham, Man United tried to get him. Last week, there was reports emerging out saying that Man United are interested in Ruben Neves from Wolves, and it did mention that Man United were leading the chase for Ruben Neves from Wolves, and it said Man United could bid around 35 million this month. Man United have already held talks with Ruben Neves' agent George Mendes. Well, sources say that Neves is ready to move on from Wolves as he's eager to show his skills at a bigger club. Wolves got Ruben Neves from Porto back in 2017. They paid 15.8 million. He's got a contract with Wolves until 2024. He's made 178 appearances for Wolves in all competitions. He is a midfielder, he's the age of 24. We're also linked with Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. You know the news on Julian Alvarez from River Plate. Earlier on this week, it said Julian Alvarez is set to join Manchester United after Ralph Rangnick held talks with the player's agent. It said Alvarez is set to become the first signing of the Rangnick era, and Man United are prepared to pay the £17 million release clause to sign Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez has been at River Plate for a long time. He risen up their academy in that. He's mainly a forward. He can also be deployed as a winner. He's only the age of 21, still young, got a lot of development in him. We've also been tentatively linked with Ousmane Dembele. Man United have already contacted Ousmane Dembele's representatives. Towards the end of last year, it said Dembele is set to leave Barcelona because Dembele rejected a contract at Barcelona following a furious meeting with club bosses. Not so long ago, there was talks about a possible swap deal involving Dembele and Martial. I don't want Dembele at Manchester United because he's too injury prone. Dembele's been at Barcelona since 2017. Barcelona got him for 135 million with add-ons included. Barcelona paid around 96-97 million up front. To be honest with you, I thought he was a far superior player at Dortmund than he has been at Barcelona. His contract at Barcelona expires this year. But in this January transfer window, there'll be more outgoings at Manchester United than incomings. Quite a few players are going to depart the club this year. There's a good chance that Anthony Martial will leave this year. By the way, Fabrizio Romano's come out and said that Sevilla can't pay Martial's full salary plus loan fee. He said towards the end of last year that Manchester United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. By the way, Martial is not interested in making a move to Newcastle. He's made that clear. Well, last year Ralph Rangnick confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United, as Martial did hold talks with Rangnick over his future. Last year, Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave the club this month. He's demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Martial's recently been out with injury. He's not good enough to represent the club, Martial. I think the best season he's enjoyed at Man United was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. There again, he was impressive last season, to his credit. Manchester United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. Martial has scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. And he's been at Manchester United for 7 years and he's under contract with the club until 2024. Edison Cavani, he's also leaving Man United this year. Cavani will probably leave at the end of the season because Man United are reluctant to let him go on a free transfer this month. Prior to the Wolves game, Ralph Rangnick said he's desperate for Edison Cavani to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. His contract at Man United expires in the summer. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Well, Cavani's been linked to Barcelona. It said last year that Cavani agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Juventus have been in for him and Cavani did reject a move to Boca Juniors. Juan Mata, I think there's a good chance he'll be leaving Man United this month. I think Juan Mata will either go back to Spain or he'll go to the MLS. Mata's contract at the club expires in the summer because revert back to last year, Man United extended Mata's contract for a further year. Mata doesn't get in the team much and he's ageing up and he's lost that yard of pace, but I do reckon he's had a good career at Manchester United. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. He's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so he's been a long-serving player. Got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for 40 million, so brought him in under the David Moyes era. Now I'm hearing that Manchester United could be loaning Anthony Elanga out. Anthony Elanga, he has made a few first-team appearances for Man United. And I said he looks a good asset to the first-team squad. Towards the end of last year, Anthony Elanga committed his future to the club because he signed a new contract until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Elanga's been part of the club for a long time though, Reasonable Park Academy. Now, he joined our academy at the age of 12. How old's he now? 18, 19. Man United will be loaning Amad Diallo out this month as well, so he can get more opportunities. Jesse Lingard, I think he'll be leaving Man United this year. I've heard that West Ham are in for him. Well, at the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Lingard's contract at Man United expires in the summer. He doesn't get in the team much, but he has been part of the club for a long time. Reasonable Park Academy in that. Last year, though, it said that Lingard will be staying at Man United this month to fight for his place under Rangnick. Donnie Van Der Beek, I reckon that he'll leave in the summer because he's not allowed to leave Manchester United this month. Well, Van Der Beek remains keen on leaving Manchester United in this January transfer window. Van Der Beek recently held talks with Ralph Rangnick to discuss his future. And not so long ago, Van Der Beek had a bust-up with his agent. I don't blame Van Der Beek for wanting to leave Man United. He hasn't been given enough opportunities, has he? He didn't get enough opportunities under Solskjaer and he hasn't been given enough opportunities under Rangnick. When we got Rangnick in though, I thought Van Der Beek was going to get the opportunities that he was demanding under Solskjaer. Donnie Van Der Beek's only managed to score 2 goals for the club and he's been a Manchester United player now for over a year and a half. This season's been his second full season at Man United. We got Van Der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's under contract with us until 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Bayern Munich are no longer in for him, by the way, and last summer Van Der Beek should have gone to Everton. Matic, he'll be leaving the club as well this year. Paul Pogba, if he leaves this year, he'll leave in the summer. He won't leave this month. By the way, like I updated you, Pogba recently denied being offered a Manchester United contract, because the Sun said recently that Manchester United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract that would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history. Pogba's contract at Man United expires in the summer. By the way, Ralph Rangnick recently gave us an injury update on Pogba. He said Pogba is out for at least another 4 weeks. I think Pogba's got a groin injury. I'm hearing as well that PSG is Paul Pogba's likely destination. He's had a long-running transfer saga, hasn't he? You know, he's been linked to Real Madrid as well as PSG. His former club Juventus have been in for him before. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he re-signed for Man United, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Pogba's made 212 appearances since he re-signed for Man United, and he's scored 38 times. This season is his 6th season since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Manchester United paid 89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger under Ferguson, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Jones and Bailly will also be leaving the club this year. I think there's a good chance Dalot will be leaving this year, and Man United are looking to get rid of Dean Henderson permanently. So there you go. And Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson retired. You know, he sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under him. And then we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy 1 good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Europa League, the EFL Cup, and the Community Shield. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board. Because the board didn't get the players he wanted to recommend in, and he had bad disputes with the top players. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following that 4-1 defeat to Watford. You know, Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. You know, when Solskjaer officially got sacked, he gave a farewell interview, and he got emotional in that farewell interview, which of course was understandable because Solskjaer was part of the club for a long time. Like I said, he was Man United manager for almost 3 years, and he was a United player for 11 years. So reflecting on that, that's almost 14 years in total. Manchester United made the right decision sacking Solskjaer. I don't think they wanted to sack him, but they had no choice in the end but to sack him. Revert back to the last few months of Solskjaer's managerial tenure. You know, the performances were terrible, and the results were terrible to go with the terrible performances. But reflecting on that, you know, not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer. He was partly to blame because his tactics and his team selections were questioned a lot, but there was also players that had to take responsibility as well. Solskjaer is a legend of the club, and he always will be a legend of the club. That got mentioned on the statement when he officially got sacked. You know, Solskjaer had a proven pedigree as a player for Man United because he won a lot of trophies when he was a player. His most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final at the Nou Camp back in 1999, because you know Solskjaer won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. He endured 11 years as a player. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree as a manager though. The clubs he's managed in his managerial career, obviously he managed Man United's reserve team. He managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. He endured 2 spells at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. And of course he managed Manchester United's senior squad. Manchester United paid Solskjaer around $7.5 million, because revert back to last summer, he signed a 3-year contract with the club. Manchester United made a huge mistake giving him that contract, because we knew for a long time that he wasn't the long-term manager. Solskjaer did get appointed in as the interim manager back in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He was the interim manager in his first 3 months, and you know what? He did well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. When Solskjaer was Man United manager, he signed around 14 players, and Manchester United spent over 400 million under Solskjaer. So the players he brought in when he was United manager, he brought like Daniel James in, he brought Pasaka in, brought Maguire in, he brought Fernandes in, then he brought a Gallo in on loan, and he brought players like Cavani in, Van Der Beek, Telles. He brought Amad Diallo in and Facundo Pellistri. And obviously last summer, Solskjaer brought Ronaldo in. He brought Sancho in, he brought Tom Heaton in, and he brought Raphael Varane in. When Ollie was United manager, he got rid of a lot of players as well. You know, he loaned players out, he got rid of players permanently. The players Ollie loaned out last summer, if I can remember them all, he did loan Ethan Laird out, he loaned Pellistri out, he loaned Chong out, he loaned Andres Pereira out, he loaned Brandon Williams out. And so there are the players he loaned out. I don't know if I mentioned them all. The players he got rid of permanently. Solskjaer obviously last summer offloaded Daniel James. Ollie obviously let James Wilson go. And Borthwick Jackson. He also released Sergio Romero. Solskjaer obviously let players like Young go, Valencia go, Smalling go, Darmian go. He let Fellaini go back in January 2019. He let Angel Gomez go. He let Herrera go. He let Lukaku go. He let Sanchez go. So they're a lot of the players Ole got rid of permanently. In his first full season as United manager, he got Man United to 3 semi-finals. He also got us a 3rd place finish in his first full season. Then his second full season, he got us to the Carabao Cup semi-finals. And he got us to the FA Cup quarter-finals. And last season got us to the Europa League final. That was his first major final when he was United manager, but unfortunately he didn't win it. And last season he got us a 2nd place finish. And don't forget, when we had Solskjaer, you know, we went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League. I also like the way Solskjaer develops the youth when he was United manager. But I said at the start of this season, you know, when Ollie was still there, I said, you know, this season was always going to be massive for him. And the pressure was on him at the start of this season, because last summer Man United enjoyed a very good transfer window. You know, must have spent around 141 million last summer. And obviously last summer as well, Solskjaer received very good backing. You know, Woodward backed him. As you all know, Woodward is stepping down at the end of this month. Woodward's had a 17-year association at the club. Obviously, Richard Arnold is becoming the chief executive on the 1st of February to replace Woodward. Also, last summer, the Glazers backed Solskjaer, John Murtaugh, our director of football, backed him, and Darren Fletcher backed him. But I just thought that the expectations were far too high for Solskjaer to exceed as Man United manager, and he was in a position that he shouldn't have really been in. Solskjaer didn't win a trophy as United manager either. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017, so I'm hoping this season we can win a trophy, under Rangnick. But, Man United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. And no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did, and we've got to accept that. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time, brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years. But Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. And since Fergie retired, Man United must have spent over £1 billion. And we've brought over 40 players in since Ferguson retired. And obviously now Rangnick's inheriting players who obviously other managers have brought in. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.